the Warcraft 3 Grand Final, Map 3 of potentially Set 1, as we have Moon versus TH, and we are tied up at 1-1. It's been a cracker thus far. Grubby, we've seen TH really throw everything he's had at Moon, and now my question is, how can he follow that?
He can either follow it by reverting back to a very standard, you could call it safe style, more conventional style of play after he first tried a really crazy strategy which put him at a 1-0 lead, tried it again and didn't quite work out. Perhaps he feels he made a few mistakes which could have won him the game if he hadn't made them. For example, when the Demon Hunter was surrounded in between the trees and the lumber mill way at the start, when Moon did have a down portal but no Tree of Life to portal to. He could either feel like that was an okay strategy for him to do, and if he had played better he would have won, or perhaps he feels that he needs to go back to something normal. But as I just spotted in TH's base, he's making a barracks first, and that's not very normal.
So TH, I mean, is TH now, if there's a situation reversed and you're playing TH, would you be in map 3 saying, right, he's not going to do something normal, what's he going to do? And either second guess or do play safe yourself, or would you do something differently at this point, or would you?
If I were Moon?
Yes.
I would try to play as safe as possible. Something that I'm used to, something that I've practiced, because when you're playing something that you've practiced, your responses, even to surprises, are better than if you're playing something out of your comfort zone, and if then something unexpected happens, it might be that you don't know immediately what to do. If you were given 2 minutes to think about it, you might make the perfect decision in every single situation, but you don't. Sometimes you have to decide in a few seconds in Warcraft 3, and that might actually make you make the wrong decision. You don't have time to think about everything for very long, and that means that Moon has to play his own comfort zone. So he's doing something that has very good success against humans recently. He's going Warden first. I do think it's important to scout for him to see what TH is doing so that he knows whether he's playing a more standard game or has to adapt in any particular way, which he's also very good at.
Well, we are underway. TH has adapted slightly, and here we go. Hero number 1, the Panda and Brewmaster.
Panda and Brewmaster. So this is not completely unheard of. This did start in China. I believe it started in the province of Chengdu, where the panda is a very famous animal. He hired the panda first because on this map the directions are very, very long. And both players in Nida versus Human will usually start creeping. That means that you can pick a hero which is not that good in the start and still do well with him, because you could actually get him to level 2 or maybe even 3 before a single confrontation with your opponent happens. So you kind of bridge that gap where he's kind of like an awkward, funny joke hero, and you make him into like a formidable weapon before you even fight. So we can see he's already level 2.4. I suspect Moon is about exactly the same. No, he's 2. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, that makes sense, because actually on Melding Valley the creeps are not completely in mirror image. The mercenary camp at the bottom is slightly stronger than the one at the top, but at the same time this green camp here is slightly stronger than the one at the bottom. I'm not exactly sure why they did it. I do think it's better if the creeps are the same, but no one really cares, because let's say if you creep both of them on your own side, it equals out. So that's why TH has a bit of more experience now, as Moon did make sure to kill that peasant that was there at the back of his base, so that there couldn't be anything funny done there, like some secret towers. I'm very curious to see what TH will do. Will he go for an expansion or perhaps an attack? He's getting level 3 first. He'll probably get that before Moon gets there. Moon is scouting to see whether TH is expanding. I think probably he's seen the panda. Panda's getting level 3 now. Moon will try to do some shadow strikes on the panda. No, he's killing the priest off first. Good decision, I think, because he needs to kill that priest in order to be able to kill other things. This priest is healing people up. So
that Warden is going to chase around the back, and Tree of Life going up from Moon as he's going to look to expand himself.
Yep, and TH is expanding now. Moon already has his expansion at 60%, which means that should everything go right, he probably will get his second gold coming in faster than TH. And at the same time he's harassing, and he's not teching. That's my favorite thing to to see when Elf expands, harasses, and attacks at the same time. Really kind of power play, which can be kind of Night Elf specialty. Very interesting to see.
Warden has taken a chunk of damage, down to about 150, but is going to continue the assault. And
casualty report, Moon lost the Troll Berserker and the Troll Priest, and nearly his Warden, and he's actually staff of teleporting out now. And TH lost his Troll Priest, perhaps a Footman, and 1 or 2 peasants. But he's looking in pretty good economical shape here to put up that expansion right away, making 2 towers. Knows Moon won't be back right away, because that Warden left while he was level 2, and it makes sense for Warden to want to get level 3 first before he goes again.
So we are once again poised for another cracker of a match.
Yep. As the Tree of Life is being moved to the expansion, he doesn't actually need his hero there to expand, so he could just come with the Tree of Life, perhaps an Archer or a Troll Priest. And Moon used another Ancient of War here, the one that crept the Mercamp. He walked it down in the time being, walked it downwards, and was trying to creep this camp here, which would have been really nice if it worked, but the Panda came there, and if he had put the Blue Mage on low health, the Panda could just come in with Fire Breath and kill it already.
The Ancient of War has gone down, courtesy of the hands of TH.
And Moon was trying to get the last hit there. He can get the Blue Mage now if he's quick. And he's not quick enough, and TH takes it. Takes the Talisman of Evasion, but Moon gets the Watcher Ward. Quite a pity that Moon wasn't able to use his Shadow Strike to take down that Mage. Although he wouldn't have had the Watcher Ward in that case, so he loses something and gains something. But Panda's getting dangerously close to level 4. He's skilled Fire Breath and Drunken Brawler. Drunken Brawler is an
Irish term.
Is that an Irish term?
No,
oh yeah, well, I think it's a Chinese martial arts actually.
Okay, it was a horrible joke.
It was alright. Don't be too hard on yourself. So Moon is staying at tier 1, 2 Ancients of War. Remember, he did lose one, so he has actually no unit production buildings now, except for this neutral camp here, which he's using to hire our favorite little mud golem, which had played a huge role yesterday, and Troll Berserker.
Been a bit slow on getting that expansion operational. Hasn't gone as quick as we thought.
Yeah. In an ideal world for Moon, he would have finished up this camp, then turn tail and creep his expansion, and it would have been very nice. It would have been very well synchronized. But as he got harassed there, the Tree of Life was just standing there waiting for backup, which he didn't get up until now.
So here we go. An expansion apiece, and TH now will have a semi-early financial lead, having had his expansion up for a good sort of 60 seconds longer than his opponent.
Yeah, let's see. 1170. Yeah, he's mined about. Yeah, you're about right. About 70 seconds of mining so far. Moon is level 3.5 Warden. Panda is level 4. No, he... Okay, so Moon took the Watcher Ward and the Talisman of Evasion. He has one of his own now. That's quite nice. But he didn't get the creep, so the Panda increases his experience advantage. And one thing I have to report, Moon has 2 Ancient of War and tier 1. He's upgrading to tier 2. I like that, that's good. I can only imagine he has both Ancient of War, because he does feel like he needs an army presence on the map. Fast mobile army to both protect his own army and stop TH from doing anything more to increase his hold on this game. He would ideally want to creep jack TH here if he's creeping in the corner. What I first thought is that he would be making glaive throwers right away to attack the expansion, but I don't think that would have worked out well at all. Glaive throwers being mechanical units, they can't be healed on Moonwells. Every healing you perform on a glaive thrower is by wisps, and that costs money. And at the same time, they don't have a lot of hit points, and that Fire Breath can hit them from the Panda. So what we would see is TH hiding behind his towers, coming out with the Pandaren Brewmaster and Fire Breathing the glaive throwers. And Fire Breath level 2 is actually enough to take down all wisps in its area of effect, so that would not work out as well, and I'm glad to see that Moon also realized that. Of course he did. And at the same time he'll be going to tier 2, probably get some magic immune units to make sure that his units don't suffer great damage from that Pandaren Brewmaster, whose main forte is magical damage. So we'll be probably seeing some Dryads, perhaps units with a lot of hit points who, although they do take damage from the Panda, have enough to make sure that they don't need to withdraw from the battle right away.
Are we too early to say there's a favorite for this map?
It's, well, it's too early to call a winner, that's for sure. But I do think that TH is a few points ahead here. Moon has had some epic games against Human on maps like Twisted Meadows and this one as well, where he's got an uncanny sense of constantly checking the expansions right when Human is doing it,
Right on cue.
getting there in time and stopping the attempt in its infancy. And that's very important, because as soon as an expansion is being guarded by a couple of guard towers, it becomes inefficient and uneconomical to cancel and kill it. And if you take too much time, the Human will just go to the other corner and expand there.
Panda and Brewmaster almost up to level 4 and continues to grow in strength.
Yep, he's already level 4 in fact, and he's nearly level 5.
Yeah.
And that's the maximum he can get from creeping. Can the Warden steal this creep? Yes, he does. A small postponement on the Pandaren Brewmaster reaching level 5. That's something to be happy about a little bit, but it can't be too long. Any creep or wisp on the map at all will make the Pandaren level up to level 5. And at that point, his Fire Breath is really a very cheap way of dealing huge amounts of damage.
So here we are. Map 3. Set 1 with TH needing to win this to take the championship, or we'd go to a second set as Moon is coming from the loser bracket. And we've already had 2 maps that we've had so much to say about. What has this third one got in store as we head to the business end of map 3?
Yeah, and I'm really a big fan of watching Moon play against Human. He's actually expanding on the corner that TH crapped out himself. It serves a double purpose. It will alert him to any activity that TH might be conducting there. If peasants come in, he knows that there's another expansion attempt, and he'll probably use Staff of Teleport or a contingency of forces to go there and take them out. Or he can actually get that expansion up and gain the economical lead that he's so craves right now, so needs. That
Zeppelin is proving an ample transport unit.
Yeah, so this Zeppelin has been slowed by the Mud Golem. If the Mud Golem stays in range of a unit, he can perpetually slow it. He's a bit out of range now as this Zeppelin is flying over the forest. He's using his Huntresses there to reveal where the Zeppelin is, but Moon knows that it's not a good usage of his time. If he tries to take down that Zeppelin now, while that's moving down to Moon's expansion, I don't think TH knows there is an expansion yet, but he'll see it soon enough and probably take appropriate action. And Moon knows that it can't be too long before TH gets there. Nice game sense from him there as he sends in a few units to take care of that. I don't think his Warden is too far behind as the Warden comes in, and he actually, in fact, I think abandoned the whole creep camp attempt that he was trying. Yes, he didn't start creeping. So it actually doesn't cost anything for a Night Elf to entangle their gold mine, even though that's technically a building. You can do it over and over as the Human cancels it. It doesn't cost you any resources, but it does slow you down. And we can especially see Moon hasn't started re-entangling that gold mine yet. And that's a little bit of an error on his part, which can easily be explained by the pressure that TH is exercising on him.
Here we go, that Panda Brewmaster is now back underway here at that operational expansion of Moon. And that Mud Golem will slow it down once again, and the Zeppelin may well fall, in fact, and it does, so
yep,
he's going to have to fight.
Moon got the vision that he needed by his own Zeppelin over the forest, and considering that he now has an Orb of Venom, he could easily take down that Zeppelin while it was also being slowed. A little bit sad for Moon that his little Mud Golem friend died. Very important guy to fend off the workshop tech that TH is doing here. From workshops, there are 3 units that a unit can make. The Mortar team, who is more of a long-distance siege guy, kind of weak, but very good in support when it's being supported by sorceresses and priests. You can make flying machines, who have excellent mobility. They're the fastest unit in the game, and they have an anti-ground attack, which is with siege. So they're good at taking down buildings when they're in large numbers. In small numbers, you can still easily repair the tree and it won't die. And Actually, the best nemesis of this unit is the Pandaren Brewmaster. So Moon did choose to take one of his own. He's still very much the little brother to TH's level 5 Panda as he just reaches level 2. This tree, meanwhile, is going rather low on life. I don't think he will forget to repair it.
But he's got to deal with the militia attack on the bottom expansion as well. So TH is all up in his business if you were from the hood.
I'm not, so I don't know what that means. As this tree will actually go down if he doesn't uproot it very quickly. 5 peasants is not enough to counter this critical mass of flying machines. He does uproot it. He needs to eat a tree right away as 2 more flying machines come in, and now he's safe. Now he can take down flying machines with impunity.
As flying machines decide to mobilize out of there, and it has that whole attack has given TH the opportunity to take control of that expansion, or at least put the towers down to take control of that second expansion, which is now entangled.
Yeah, and very nice second hero choice by TH, as the Warden is like Moon's major threat here, Moon's major trump card, and the Paladin can use Holy Light to cancel all the shadow strikes that the Warden is doing. I do see Moon was standing still for a bit there. Moon is at 68 food. I'm very curious to see what he's making. We see more Mud Golems. Mud Golem is an excellent friend to have when you're being attacked by siege engines. There are no siege engines being made yet. It was a full flying machine army here. The best thing to get against flying machines is a good number of hippogriffs, supported by a roar from a bear, which will give the hippogriffs 25% extra damage. They really tear up flying machines when they meet in combat. But you also have static ground defense, which could take care of flying machines like the Ancient Protector. But the problem there is that the Ancient Protector is abysmal against siege engines. So should the human choose to change up his tech, the AP is a big waste of money. So it's best to try to get Ancients of War against siege engine attack and get hippogriffs to chase the flying machines.
Panda against Panda as Moon and TH continue their onslaught. And this really is a brawl more than anything.
Yeah, in an open combat, Moon will still take the victory. There's no question of that. I do think there's a big question of whether TH will actually do that. He does lose a lot of units here. That's something that Moon can have a little private cheer and fist pump about. But it's way too soon to say that it's looking on the up for Moon, as he's still kind of mining with 2 mines, sometimes only 1 when he's forced to uproot his Tree of Life. Perhaps 1 AP could help out a bit here. He is using his range to take away the flying machines, who are continually being upgraded more and more. They're 3-1 now, and the second armor upgrade is being upgraded.
So, TH is set. He is the aggressor in this battle at the moment, but will he be happy with that role? I mean, is that enough? Can Moon continue to sit out? Continue to take the aggression?
Let's see, level 4-3. So it's very hard for Moon to take out one of TH's expansions without having at least a little bit of breathing space. So far, all he can do is to meet TH on the open battle. He could try to move in here a bit. He's got a good number of Druids of the Claw, 6 of them to be exact. These 2 towers could be taken out, and if he's able to push the Pandaren Brewmaster and the Paladin back, okay, nice Staff of Preservation by Moon there. If he's able to push those 2 heroes back, which he's doing now, this Panda will die, costing him the Ankh of Reincarnation. He will come back to life. That Warden should be careful. He's getting fire breath. He goes away with 57 life, as he's finally got his gold mine back again. 67 food, 2 gold mines, not too bad of a position. He's doing rather well in defending with these ranged units, taking down flying machines. Gives him a little bit of experience for each one he kills. Also takes a little bit away of the threat factor that TH000 is exercising on him. But he did push TH back down to below 50 food, and that means that TH is now getting full gold from all of his mines, and that's 3 mines to be sure now.
Another attempt.
Oh my god, this was very unlucky for Moon. He put down a Tree of Life, and Fire Breath does about 200 damage on level 3, so there was no way that Moon had enough reaction time to cancel that Tree of Life. As he just wiped it out with 1 Fire Breath, and Moon did not get return on that dying Tree of Life. He could not cancel it and get back his money.
So where are we at right now in this match? I mean, we've got both players. Moon scored a few points moments ago by taking down a lot of those flying machines, but with neither player really in a position to really take the fight to the other person.
Yeah, Moon is like TH now with under 50 food and 3 mines is getting 30 gold a second. Moon is getting 20 gold a second, but you gotta minus 30% for the upkeep he's in on account of him having a big army already. So that leaves him with about 14 gold. Mosquito. That leaves him with about 14 gold a second. So he's got less than half the income that TH has, and TH just can save up money. He's making 2 more workshop, 5 workshop, and he just finished his 3-3 upgrades. And I think at that point he will be very satisfied to make a large number of siege engines. Either he'll keep sending them to take out critical buildings like Moonwells or Trees of Life or Tangled Gold Mines, or he'll just save up a sick amount and come with a critical mass of siege engines, which cannot be stopped.
So really now is the time for Moon to stop that from happening.
Yep. Moon, if he wants to make an effective defense, he needs 3 things really. Well, let's say 4 things. 1, he needs a high-level Pandaren Brewmaster. There's nothing more effective and quick than Pandaren Brewmaster fire-breathing mechanical units. He's the most cost-efficient and quick and the most damage-dealing thing that a siege engine can face. Fire Breath ignores armor, so that's one thing that he really needs, and he is working on that. He's already level 4.5, and I think he might just get nearly level 5 from this. I think the green camp here next to his base will give him level 5 after he finishes this Granite Golem. And I am correct in that. Ancient Jango of Endurance is a great item, but you do need to pick it up to get any kind of use out of that. And
big expansion.
I do hope that he sees that, because this is a very important item. He does realize he doesn't have that high level permanent item, which should have been in the Panda's inventory now. This will give him extra movement speed and attack speed. Very crucial item, which Moon can definitely be thankful for. But I wouldn't call it luck necessarily. There's lots of other good items which you could find there, and he did actually go through the effort of creeping it, and you do deserve whatever you find. And so that's the first thing he needs, a high-level Pandaren Brewmaster, and it's been taken care of. The next thing he needs is Ancient of War Defense at his expansion, his main base, and everything. To be comfortable, he needs about 6. He's trying to get as much as possible as he can. He has about 4 now at his expansion, 3 in his main base, had them for a long time, and he's making 3 more at the new expansion that he's making now. If he wants to be really comfortable, he should have about 6 in every base. Obviously that costs money, and TH has not gone over 50 yet, so he's not under immediate threat yet. TH could save up like 10,000 gold and get a large amount of siege engines. But on the other hand, Moon will get more and more ready for this inevitable attack. One thing that could happen is that TH will instead get like 60 or 50 foot of flying machines when all Moon has is anti-ground defenses. He still has the flexibility to choose his tech right now, and that's rather an advantage for TH.
Looks like he's going for the siege.
Yeah, he did get 4 siege engines so far. It could be a ruse. But it could also be an indication that this is what he'll continue making afterwards.
Well, he may get found out, because exactly as you called it, the Panther goes in with a breath of fire, drops about 20% health off all 4 of those units, which quickly retreat back to the safety of behind the towers.
And I did report the damage of a level 3 Fire Breath a bit wrongly. In fact, it does 170 damage, not 200 damage as I reported earlier. Pandaren Brewmaster not being a very popular hero for Orc to use, I was not 100% familiar with it.
We've forgiven you.
I've not forgiven myself, trust me, I'm gonna have nightmares about this. Warcraft lore is like my pride.
So we are semi-waiting. We're in this position.
We're waiting. They're both sharpening their blades for an epic confrontation. Let's go back to the things that Moon needs for defenses. The third thing he needs is those little mud golems. There's no way that Elf has, no easy way like what Orc could do against siege engines, which is to use raiders and throw in a snare over siege engine, restricting their movement completely. Dryads do have a slow effect, but it doesn't work against mechanical units. So the only way to slow down the progress of these siege engines is to use Mud Golem. that will reduce their attack speed, which is very important because they do sick damage against bases.
How likely is to see many mud golems?
I think he will make as many as he can from this here mercenary camp. He should put a wisp there. He should even get mud golems from the expansion, from the TH side of the map. Hasn't done that yet. I think you should have about 2 mud golems in every base if possible.
He's only got the one.
He's only got the one, and I do think he needs more than that. He sees a large contingency of siege engines heading upwards, but Moon's army is waiting there. And I think it's nice that he's got his army close to the base here. A little bit of a wrong fire breath, fire breathing his own units. Perhaps they were cold. He does try to catch the siege engines before they actually reach his base. Right at TH's base already, which gives him more maneuvering space and time to prepare for the siege engines. Hit only 2 tanks there. Again, I think a little bit below the potential of that. Has enough mana to do it plenty of times more.
But already those siege engines are down to 50% or less health on nearly all of them.
Yeah. But we do see a large amount of griffins here too. I did miss the griffin aviary attack. Sorry that I didn't report that. 100 food now, lots of griffins who are really good against the bears. Shadow strikes and uses dryads to attack them. Needs to take those out because they do a lot of damage, but pretty nice positioning for Moon so far. Those griffins were up there, getting kind of low life. Paladin died, nice anti-ground damage by Moon with the bears with 3-2 upgrades, really formidable. As TH uses his level 6 skill, Warden uses his level 6 skill. We see a lot of ultimates being used here. A lot of griffins are nearly dying. This hippogriff could theoretically take down 3 griffins all by himself. Takes down the first one. Moon loses his expansion, which is 1 goal accomplished for TH, who is sitting at 95 food. Who just lost his panda. I can't believe it. So the panda splits up into 3 little mini pandas, and 2 may die and give experience to the opponents, but if the 3rd dies, he dies in truth. If you are able to somehow save one of them, and that's usually the wind incarnation, the panda splits into wind, earth and fire. If it's the wind one that you still have, you can easily get away with an invisible wind walk running away. But he actually lost all of them, so very nice by Moon there, who's now level 6 panda as well. And killed down nearly all of the siege engines. He's not mining since a long time already from his main base, but he's still mining from his expansion, which is completely safe. And this finally now gives me a little bit of breathing space to mention the 4th point which you need in defending against siege engines, which is these Druids of the Talon. Fairy Fire reduces armor on units, and it's very useful when you're attacking siege engines who have a sick amount of armor, and that makes them easier to kill. So he does have 1 or 2 talents to defend against that. Nice to get that Fairy Fire. Also helps against those griffins.
So from this, after that battle, TH lost a lot of units. As a result, points to Moon.
Yeah, TH had about 3,000 gold worth of army, and he lost nearly all of it. But because he had so much stockpiled, he could actually rebuild an army again. Rebuy both of his heroes, Paladin from the altar, Panda from the tavern, which costs a lot of resources. At level 6 I think it costs about 780, but he's right back here. Moon, however, did not lose as much of his army, so he's also ready to fight right away. Has a level 6 Panda, will probably use Drunken Fire, Fire Breath, and maybe, it's not sure whether he'll use ultimate after that or wants to save it for Griffins. No, all the Griffins are dying. Paladin is also lower life, Panda's low life. He is using Fire Breath to kill peasants and towers. He's not choosing to use ultimate yet. I think that's a very good choice. He needs crowd control. Attacking that Panda, who does not have the town portal right now. The Paladin does it. They do have Staff of Sanctuary. He could use it anytime to save it, but not when Moon is so sick with a very quick Blink, Shadow Strike and Fire Breath. Absolutely amazing play by Moon. It did not look close in the start. It did not look like it was going in his favor yet during the whole game, but in like the span of the last 2 minutes, he turned the game around by having like this massive damage on the ground army. Bears, Warden, Panda, killing all the ground that TH had in a record time, and at the same time those 6 Griffins with 3-0 upgrades, they didn't do all that much. Amazing.
So, good play by Moon. He's brought us back to 2-1. And that means we're going into a second best of 3 as the Warcraft 3 final here from MSI's Beat It continues We will be right back for another epic set of 3.